This is one of the hotels and bars in Isla Morada. Let's have a look. I think they have good views here. Pelicans and a beautiful color of the sea. Awesome. It's not the destination, it's the journey. This is a quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson, Self-Reliance, and it certainly can be said here, at least partially. What I will show you today is consistently ranked in the top 5 or top 10 US most scenic drives. The Overseas Highway Florida, or US 1 Florida Keys, they call it, and I drove it in both directions. If you are seeking some true views, the Overseas Highway has you covered. As you might have guessed, it runs for over 100 miles right over the ocean and through the Florida Keys. And the old 7-mile bridge, which runs parallel to the new bridge I'll be driving over, was a big-time architectural achievement when it was constructed more than 100 years ago. But what is the Keys? Key is derived from the Spanish word cayo, meaning small island. And those islands were first charted by Spanish explorer Juan Ponce de Leon in 1513, therefore the name. The Florida Keys are a string of tropical islands, and they stretch about 120 miles off the southern tip of the US state of Florida, between the Atlantic Ocean and Gulf of Mexico. They are known as a destination for fishing, boating, snorkeling, scuba diving. The southernmost city of Key West is famous most for Duval Street's many bars, Mallory Square's nightly sunset celebration, and the Ernest Hemingway Home and Museum. For many years, Key West was the largest town in Florida, and it grew prosperous. The isolated outpost was well located for trade with Cuba and the Bahamas, and was on the main trade route from New Orleans. However, Key West went into a decline in the late 19th century. But it changed 100 years ago with the construction of the 7-mile bridge. Among the longest bridges in existence when it was built, it is part of the Overseas Highway in the Keys, which is part of the 2,369-mile US Route 1. It is not the only bridge, mind you, but it's the longest one. As a matter of fact, there are an astonishing 42 bridges leapfrogging from key to key over the open waters of the Atlantic Ocean, Florida Bay and the Gulf of Mexico from Key Largo to Key West. On your drive, actually, you will cross 44 islands. And how many islands does the Florida Keys have altogether? Quick answer. Approximately 1,700 islands make up the Florida Keys. And there are 2 bridges in this location. The modern bridge is open for car traffic, the older one only to pedestrians and cyclists. The older bridge was completed in 1912 under the direction of Henry Flagler and Clarence Coe as part of the Florida East Coast Railway's Key West extension, also known as the Overseas Railroad. After the railroad was damaged by the Labor Day hurricane of 1935, the line was sold to the United States government, which refurbished 7-mile bridge for automobile use. The current new road bridge was constructed from 1978 to 1982. The vast majority of the original bridge still exists, although the swing span has been removed. In 2014, the Florida Department of Transportation approved a $77 $1 million plan to restore the old bridge, but not really for cars. The bridge opened in January 2022, and Florida Keys visitors and residents are again cycling, walking, running, fishing, watching sunrises and sunsets along a section of the famed old 7-mile bridge that parallels the Florida Keys Overseas Highway in the Middle Keys. And you can imagine that the bridge made an impact in pop culture. It has been featured in films and TV series such as License to Kill, True Lies, Too Fast, Too Serious, and Burn Notice, for example. So I think that it's a pretty interesting drive. Actually, I enjoyed it, but if you are watching it on your mobile phone, you probably will not see that much. It really requires watching on a bigger screen, or better yet, driving in person. Anyway, I hope you liked today's video, and thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.